Story time. So, as a fellow weeb, I have gotten some of my friends into anime and converted them into weebs. Right now, my next project with them is trying to get them into Hunter x Hunter. And we're nearing the Command Air arc, guys. So I'm very hyped. However, I feel every Hunter x Hunter fan, as you near the end of the show, trying to get one of your friends to watch it, you end up having this conversation with them.
This is a good show. Too bad this is all we have right now.
Well, you still have the manga, right?
Yeah, but the manga tends to take a long time to get out new chapters.
When was the last time you checked?
A few years, I guess.
Years? That's such a long time. I'm sure he must have posted something new by now.
Let me check.
Is this how you get your sick kicks?
What? It's just an ordinary crabby. Oh my goodness!
Togashi. I get it too. From the little I understand about the manga industry, mangakas can easily be very overworked. And considering how much information he loves to put in his manga, I can understand why he's taking so long. At the end of the day, I just hope he's okay. That being said, I figured if Togashi isn't going to make anything new anytime soon, I'll try to do something new instead. I had a video idea to go online, play Gungi with some of my friends, and I found no online Gungi. I mean, there's online chess, there's online Paisho, there's even online Savate? Sava? How do you say that? Let's look this up. See, it's not just me. Sai Vas E. Not Savase either, I guess. So, I really want this game to be online. Mainly because I just graduated college recently. A lot of my friends moving away from me. We all have jobs. Well, I don't have a job. They have a job. Either way, we're all away from each other. And I figured if we were going to play this together, it would have to be online. So I figured, hey, Aries, you went to college. You have a CS degree from Zoom University. Why don't you just code this up yourself? But Aries, Togashi never wrote down the rules of this fictional game. It was just a vehicle to do the parallels between the game and the actual narrative that was going on. I agree with you, Didn't really go that much in depth with it. He went in depth enough. The internet's a crazy thing. And these guys on Reddit meticulously went through all the manga and all the episodes of the anime and just made rules based off of every single thing they saw. Isn't that crazy? I love the internet, dude. Rules of gameplay. Okay. Number 1. Each player is provided a total of 38 pieces. 2. In the draft phase, pieces are put on the board in the first 3 rows, trading off one by one. Black places first. The marshal must always be put first. 3. The minimum pieces that must be placed in the beginning is 1. This piece must be marshal. The maximum number of pieces you can have on the board at any time is 26. 4. White takes the first turn after all pieces have been set up, and the game phase begins. 5. The turn you use for one of 4 things. A. Move. Choose one piece to move. C. Section above the number of pieces to move. Create an arrow itself not move. The only increased range ability of copies. B. Attack. The enemy costs remain attack. See? Just like chess. In all seriousness, though, this game, similar to chess, Capture the King, or the Marshal, as it's known in Gungi.
The main thing I want to highlight that really separates these two games is the amount of options you have in Gungi versus chess. So in chess, all you can really do is move and capture. Okay? That's it. Gungi said, fuck that, and just wanted to add way more. So not only can you do the standard moving your pieces and capturing pieces, but you also have these 2 other movement options called drop and stack. At the start of the game, you have to drop your king into your zone. Both sides have a pile of pieces, and they get to drop any one of those pieces that they want in specific spots with some restrictions. So instead of moving a piece on the board, you could instead decide to put a new piece on the board. In the drafting or placing phase of Gungi, you can pick your pieces and you can only drop them in your zone, your 3-row zone right in front of you. Once both sides say they're ready, though, they now have more places you can drop pieces. So not only can you also drop it in your safe zone, you could also drop it in what I'll title the neutral zone, which is the 3 middle rows of the board. The thing with dropping, though, is you don't have to drop in a place that's unoccupied by a piece. You could basically drop anywhere in those 6 zones. Because you could drop even on pieces, this is where the term stacking comes from. The idea with stacking pieces is that for each piece, you can actually stack pieces at most 3, making towers of 3. This doesn't just have to be your own pieces. If I'm white and I want to stack on a black piece, I can do that. I can stack on whichever piece I want, except the king. Of course, that's the only piece you can't stack on. Okay, but what are the advantages of just stacking pieces instead of just getting more of your pieces on more squares? Well, the main advantage with stacking is that when you stack a piece, instead of capturing it, depending on which tier tower it is, then your piece actually gets greater movement buffs. So if you're on the 3rd level, for example, then your one piece will have way more movement options than if it was just on the first level with nothing stacked beneath it.
So I meticulously spent all night coding up this project, and after a few days, I finished. It was complete. The graphics were not too good, but worked and technically online. And it would be rudimentary, but I did it. So I'm just gonna post online what I already have. What the hell is this? Oh, he has a website. Okay, let's see, Mr. Coding Man. Let's see how good your website is. Well, cool. Not only is this application better than mine, he literally posted it 9 hours before I pretty much was done. So I was a little upset that I didn't end up making Gungi as good as his, but my goal was to really play Gungi online with my friends, and I failed successfully. Also, I just really like how this site looks. It looks really clean, even with the quote on the homepage of the last episode and the purple aesthetic. Oh yeah, that's hot. That's hot. So I played the game a little bit and found some minor bugs, like the pieces did not always have the English name appear when the mouse was hovered over them, for example. So I guess the creator just wanted you to learn Japanese, I guess. I emailed him about it. He's a real nice guy. He's a speedrunner too, so no wonder he's a bro. One problem I found was that it was possible to have games go on forever. See, in chess, some chess variations, there is a thing called a 50 move rule. The way it works is that if you go 50 moves without either capturing a piece or a pawn moving, then you get the option to just call it a draw. I think that's how it works. All the chess nerds are going to correct me if I'm wrong. In the Reddit rules, there was no equivalent to this, so I talked it over with Jared, and I suggested, hey, let's implement the 50 move rule, but instead of the pawn and captured, I suggested the 50 move rule should be 50 moves without any captures or drops, because I think drops essentially the equivalent of pawn moving in some ways in this game. I also think that if you just can't drop or capture, then what can you really do? He agreed, and now we just have that in the game. So now the game is much simpler. So if it's not plainly clear yet, this game is way more complicated than chess. Just for fun, I wanted to see how much more complicated this game was from normal chess. So I did the math, and I got these stats. Chess has a maximum game length of a little under 6,000. Maximum game length of Gungi, though, 7.5 thousand. That's like the maximum game length. But how many unique chess games can you have, right? It has to be huge. Well, funny thing is, someone actually tried to estimate this. Yeah, someone tried to have an upper bound, the absolute maximum number of unique games you can have, right? One upper bound they got was 10 to the 120. Which is greater than the number of atoms in the known universe. One other guy had an upper bound of 10 to 10 to the 50, which we're getting really stupid now. If you want to know how they got these numbers, I highly recommend this number file video. So that's what they had for chess, those upper bound estimations. I wanted to use the same method they used to try to apply that to Gungi, and I got some results. So hear this out. After the first player moves in chess, player 1 has 20 different movement options they can have. Player 1 really has 20 different boards they could possibly make because they have 20 different moves, right? That makes sense. So now we go to the second player in chess. Now they have the same 20 moves that the other guy did. After both players move for chess, you have 400 different boards you possibly could have seen. If you're the first player of Gungi, you have 27 different possible moves you could do. So it's 27 squared. 27 times 27. You have 792. 792 is a lot greater than 400, but it gets way crazier. After 3 turns, chess has almost 9,000. After 4 moves, chess has 197,742. In Gungi, after just 4 moves, and by 4 moves I mean both players have moved twice, you have 77,591,448. So this game gets really stupid really fast. is what I hope you guys understand from all this.
So in the number file video, essentially how they got that 10 to the 120 number is a very wishy-washy way. So they looked at games, and this one chess guy was like, in any position, I see about 30 legal moves a person can do. at any given time on average. It's like, okay. Then he was like, well, how long are games on average? He said, I think games usually go about 80 moves. And by 80 moves, he means I go, then my opponent would go. That would count as 2 moves. So he's like, 30 moves, 80 turns, 30 to the 80 equals about 10 to the 120. And that's how he got the upper bound. It's not precise. It's not even like that accurate. It's probably way bigger, to be honest. So I just wanted to use that same wishy-washiness to figure out a upper bound for Gungi. And I played a bunch of games, and like just on my test and just looking at it, I saw like about on average, I thought like the amount of legal moves is usually like around 30 as well. Maybe a little higher, but for simplicity's sake, I'm just going to use 30. Then I kind of guesstimate and do like some tests for like average game length. Some of the simulations I found for just like running against random bots and stuff, I got that was like around like 180. And when you may say 180, that's like more than double the chest. Yeah, but it kind of makes sense, right? In chess, you just start off basically as if you already did the draft phase, right? On Gungi, there's a whole draft phase trying to figure out what your setting is before the game actually starts. So if we count those moves as well, then it's obviously going to be way bigger. And because it's all a 9x9 board as well, you have drops and captures. I don't think 180 is too unreasonable. So I do 30 to the 180, and that's about 10 to the 612. If you thought the other number was big, I don't know a comparison for a person to understand how large this number is. It's 1 followed by 612 zeros. We don't have like a real life equivalent to this. I couldn't think of one.
I think it's really cool that this exists at all. If any of you got the cojones, you can challenge one of the greatest Gungi players of all time to a match, you know? And I'll be down. I'll take it on. If you want more of me, check out my Twitch channel, Aries Streams Live, or check out my YouTube Twitch channel where I post a bunch of my VODs, Aries Streams. Oh, before I forget, to up that engagement in the comments. Very curious, what are your guys' favorite fictional games? It doesn't have to be chess variant, just fictional games. Very curious. Alright.